Am I the a-hole for calling the cops on my eldest sibling after she attacked me? I honestly never thought I'd be in a position where I'd have to call the police on a family member, especially not on one who's mentally disabled. But after everything that's happened, I'm questioning myself, even though part of me knows I did what I had to do. Still, I'd like an outside perspective. I'm a 23-year-old woman, and my family is a mess. I have a sister my age, a half-brother, and 3 half-sisters. The oldest of us, we'll call her Lynn, 28F, is my half-sister from my mom's first marriage. My mom, Nicole, has had 3 husbands. Lynn and another of my half-sisters, Brianne, were from her first. That man turned out to be an abusive monster. Lynn unfortunately bore the brunt of that abuse. According to family and professionals, the years of trauma severely damaged her development. She's mentally about 8 years old and has been diagnosed with schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, PTSD, and more. While Brianne came out of it mostly functional, though still dealing with PTSD, Lynn was never the same. After Nicole escaped her first husband, she met my dad. They got married and had me and my sister Paige, 20F. Things were good for a while, until my dad passed away in his sleep when I was just a child. It devastated us. Not long after, my mom met Alan, her third husband, who, let's just say, was not an upgrade. He brought years of emotional abuse into our home, mostly targeted at Paige and me. But that's a story for another time. Nicole and Alan eventually had 2 more children, my half-siblings Landon, 11M, and Elizabeth, 8F. Now, back to Lynn. From the time I was little, being around her was a waking nightmare. I remember being 5 years old, autistic, quiet, and small, when Lynn tried to suffocate me with a pillow. I didn't tell anyone because, honestly, I didn't even understand what had happened. But I never trusted her after that. When she lived with us, there was always something violent happening. She would punch and kick us as we walked by, slam our heads into walls, scream obscenities, and tear through the house like a storm. She once kicked me while wearing heels so hard I had to get stitches. She's put holes in the drywall more times than I can count. She even pulled a knife on my mother once. Eventually, after so many 911 calls, CPS issued an ultimatum. Either Nicole gave up custody of Lynn to the state, or she would lose custody of the rest of us kids. Nicole chose us. Lynn was placed under state guardianship, and I truly thought that chapter of my life was over. That was nearly a decade ago. But recently, her caseworker and legal guardian decided Lynn was well enough to have supervised home visits again. At first, it was just a few days here and there. Then, somehow that turned into 2-week stays. I tried to stay out of the way during these visits. I told Nicole and Alan clearly, if Lynn ever put her hands on me again, I'd call the police. No exceptions. I guess they didn't take me seriously. A few weeks ago, we were building an above-ground pool in the backyard. It was scorching hot, 96 degrees Fahrenheit, and I had been hauling heavy wheelbarrows full of concrete sand all afternoon. I asked for help. No one helped. So, I did it myself. After 3 full trips, I sat down on the back porch stairs to take a break and drink some water. That's when Lynn came outside. She started calling me lazy, slinging curse words I won't repeat, and demanding I keep working. I calmly told her I was just taking a short break. That was apparently unacceptable. When I told her to shut up, she snapped. She lunged at me and grabbed my hair, yanking hard and not letting go. I instinctively pulled back, trying to get her off me. It was terrifying and painful. I felt like I was 5 years old again, helpless. Eventually, I broke free and ran into the house. My hands were shaking as I dialed 911. But I did it. The police came. I gave them my statement. They took pictures and documented the damage. Chunks of my hair were ripped out, and my scalp was so sore I couldn't sleep on one side of my head. While I was still speaking to the officer, Nicole and Alan came home early from a marriage counseling session. Alan barged in, furious. Not at Lynn for assaulting me, but at me for not letting it go and making a scene. He was so disruptive that one of the officers yelled at him and escorted him away from me so I could speak freely. They called for backup. Lynn was arrested. As she was being taken away, the officer quietly told me, "You should probably spend the night somewhere else. I have a feeling this house won't be safe for you tonight." He was right. No one spoke to me after the cops left. No yelling, no lectures, just glares. Cold, burning glares. The next morning, Nicole blindsided me. She announced that she'd already spoken to our landlord and had me removed from the lease. I had until 5 p.m. to pack up and leave. I didn't know what to do. I sat in a park for hours in shock, clutching a half-packed duffel bag. Eventually, a concerned mother noticed me crying and flagged down a police officer. He took me to a crisis center, where I stayed for 3 days. No phone, no contact with the outside world. When I finally got my phone back, my inbox was flooded. Dozens of messages from family asking where I was, if I was safe. I learned later that my uncle, on my dad's side, found out what Nicole did and tore into her. The extended family was livid. They couldn't believe she threw me out with 5 hours' notice to protect the sister who attacked me. Eventually, I convinced Alan to let me back in the house for now. But I've been walking on eggshells since. I recently received a letter from the court. I'm legally entitled to be notified of all hearings involving Lynn's case. Turns out Nicole and Alan stole it from the mailbox, so they could read it first. Lynn's public defender has given her 2 options: 45 days in jail with a guilty plea, or 5 to 10 years in prison. I don't know what she'll choose. I know Lynn is mentally disabled. I know she has a tragic backstory. But being disabled does not give her a free pass to abuse others, especially me, again and again for years. If she were truly legally incompetent, the courts wouldn't even charge her. I told everyone, Nicole, Alan, the whole family, that if Lynn ever laid hands on me again, I would involve the police. And I followed through. It's been 16 days. No one said anything supportive. Just glares. Cold stares. As if I betrayed them. As if I'm the one who crossed a line. So, am I the a-hole for calling the cops on my mentally disabled sister when she attacked me? Or should I have just walked away?